knobbers have set the whole town ablaze. Go!
Patches, I'm gonna tan your hide.
Chicken! Waggles have been chicken!
Wiley, drop that dynamite or I'll have to shoot.
Go ahead, Marshal. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow!
Get after those bolt knobbers and stop that fire.
Red Flanders? Get back here and put on your pants.
I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang ball knobber stole them.
Stole them? What in the city hell would they want with good pants?
They don't call me Bugs for nothing. Don't worry, they don't bite. Budge.
Hurry! The bomb are gonna blow up the bridge.
Get that crate over here.
Don't mess up my new pants, you ornery
Pack
fool.
them bundles under the dresser.
Can't you even tie a ding-dang knot?
Hurry!
What's the matter, Bugs? You chicken?
Watch out, you dang fool! You're gonna fall! Now look at what you done!
Uh-oh, I think I'm stuck. I can't reach.
Bridge ain't gonna hold. Bye-bye.
Bugs and Patches, we foiled your plot, and now we're using your dynamite to blow up the water tower and put out the fire.
Don't throw that switch! The train's coming that way!
Tower's gonna blow. Fire in the hole!
Alright guys, you guys ready to go? This has all been playing in game, by the way.
We couldn't have caught
From a
these
speaker.
good for nothing ball knobbers without you. Give yourselves a big old pat on the back. You deserve it.
And it will also put out any stray sparks. So long. Now, going into this, obviously thanks for Jake for doing the tutorial on how to do the one-to-one recreations using Google Maps and getting all that. If you haven't checked that video out, he just posted it, so go check it out. You can do this yourselves. Also, it's a lot easier if you do have the scaling mod as well. You can go up to 600%. That way you have less billboards. I can literally probably do most coasters in one billboard, which is amazing for Planet Coaster 2. I'm so happy that we can rescale these screens. I was a little bit surprised that they allowed that on it, especially the ones that have videos. Now, in Planet Coaster 1, this is a lot better, by the way, because in Planet Coaster 1, I actually had trouble getting one of the custom videos to play. However, in Planet Coaster 2, it works perfectly fine. It doesn't matter the size, but I actually have a video sample. It's the first video I did, and that is the final scene video, the celebration scene. It actually works in Planet Coaster 2. In Planet Coaster 1, it wasn't working, so I got the official video for that. It's a little bright here. Maybe it's because it's a different one, but probably the lighting and everything. But if you also don't know that we don't currently have onboard audio, you can't add custom audio to your trains. They have stated that that's coming in the next update, so on the 20th we'll be getting that. But there is a workaround until we get that update, and that's just attaching a speaker to the train itself and just put a trigger in front of it. Like, that'd be perfect. So there is a workaround around that. I'm not sure why they didn't have that ready, but also the one issue where the and the hotfix they actually fixed already, where you zoom out and zoom back in, where the audio restarts. It doesn't do that anymore. So listen where it's at now, and if we zoom out, zoom back in, it's not going to restart. It's going to continue. So they did fix that in the hotfix right away, like days later after the update. So really happy they fixed that. In Planet Coaster 1, the custom audio was always kind of janky with that, and it wouldn't be in the right spot. It seems like they have really figured it out for Planet Coaster 2. So far, Planet Coaster 2, when they get these features added back in from Planet Coaster 1, they've been better, which is amazing. So we're almost to the point where, like, Planet Coaster 2 has the better content than Planet Coaster 1 when it comes to, like, features and such. The features are working better than Planet Coaster 1. And now that we have custom images and such, but yeah, you can't connect the audio to the trains, but they said that's coming in the very next big update on the 20th next month, or this month. So it's this month, it's March. I forgot it's March already. Like, geez. Already looking at coasters to recreate the method. One idea I'm looking at right now is Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah, so when you do these, like, one-to-one recreations, you don't realize how much bigger of a scale Planet Coaster puts their stuff on. Like, it's hard to fit the stations in. And looking at this layout, like, I feel like it's gonna be hard to fit everything in here. I know I have to go upwards, so, like, really I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. I know I'm gonna run into issues trying to fit everything in. This building is huge in real life, but in Planet Coaster scale, it actually looks really small. Like, I'm gonna have to push this back, and we're gonna have to make that turn, and then this will be that first scene, and then back here will be, in this corner going into here, we'll have the city scene, and then Flanders, and it'll have to go up and around, obviously, but there is not a lot of space to work with here, if you know what I mean. So, it's gonna be a challenge to fit everything in a realistic scale settings, because in Planet Coaster, just in general, everything is very oversized, and you don't really realize that until you do stuff like this. So I don't think the station is going to fit properly, but we're going to work with that. And then obviously we have to create the trains themselves. Fire in the Hole has a semi-unload station, so I think I'm going to try my best to include that. Thankfully, the cars are very small, and we don't need a big station, so it shouldn't take up too much space. This is probably one of the hardest one-to-one recreations I'm going to do, because obviously I can't even see the track. I know the layout really well, so I don't think that would be much of an issue overall, but it's going to still be a lot of a challenge here to fit everything in this small building space. So, but I think we're going to do it. So obviously this is the entrance right here where they go in, and then you have the queue line, the outdoor queue right here, and then you have a little bit of the queue inside here, and then you have the main part of the building, which I'm not sure. I might be able to get away with pushing this over a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. And assuming the station, it's kind of hard to tell, but I'm assuming the station is where the taller part of the building is. And we can also bring up Google Maps to kind of aid us as well. We can get, you know, and obviously reference photos as well. I don't think this building's in 3D, unfortunately. Let me take a look here. I'm going to get Google Maps up real quick. I don't think it is. But this is going to be a big challenge, and it's going to take a while. Thankfully, we're getting the Western set here pretty soon. That's going to help out a lot, because it should bring back, like, the steam train pieces, which will be perfect for this. So, yeah, Silver City doesn't have any sort of 3D type of view on it, so that's not going to be too helpful. So what I got here is going to be perfectly helpful as I can right now. So I'm sorry to hear about your grandpa. I'm glad he got to ride the original. It's too bad he didn't get to ride the new one, though. I'm sure he would have loved it. Can I give you a hint of the new manufacturer? I'm not gonna say anything. Like, I'm not spilling any beans. All right, we're gonna make this as small as possible. We're gonna see if we can get away with that, because we're gonna do the unload station as well, right? So we're gonna have to put and if you want to do this, if you have the No Limits mod, you can make this piece as small as you want. But I'm just gonna do some drive tires right here, and then we're gonna do a unload station. So we need to make this first one a load station right here. Make sure it's going in the correct way as well. And then at the back end, we'll put in our unload station. We want them to exit on that side, though, because that's the side they'd be exiting on. And obviously, we're not going to have it that big. The default size is a little bit big there. Oops. I deleted a few too many times there. All right, so that is how big I want our station to be, if possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit the cars on here. Again, I am using a couple mods here to make all of this work. The interchangeable coaster trains are a thing, but I can do more interchangeable coaster trains with the options that I have. So I have crazy options. Like I can actually put in the raft flume from, not that it doesn't go on top of the tracks, unfortunately, but yeah, this allows us to do some crazy stuff. We can literally put any coaster train that we want on here, so which is really, really nice. So you can do any of that, body slides even, so the guests will just slide on the track, which is really funny. It doesn't crash the game. That one did, and I didn't mean to do that. I didn't even know what I clicked on there. I accidentally broke the game. Oops. I clicked on something that I shouldn't have clicked on. And that's what you get for using mods, so. And not paying attention to what you're doing, because if you click on the wrong thing, it's not going to work properly. That was on me. That was definitely not on Planko. Yeah, so I accidentally clicked. I don't know which one I accidentally clicked on, but it obviously is one that doesn't work. Kind of like in Planko 1, the same mod, you couldn't put like the go-karts on the coaster trains, but they were an option there. So yeah, don't do that. Click on the ones that I don't even know which one I clicked on by accident. Anyways, thankfully we get back in here very quickly. And it saved this, so sweet. So good for us. Thankfully for us, it did save all that. So let's get back into here. So high peaks, steel topped. So we need to figure out what car is going to be the best. Though, if you guys can think of anything better, I think the wooden coaster is the best one to use. The normal, not the GCI ones, but City Peninsula. I forgot the name. Is it City Peninsula? I don't think it's City Peninsula. What is the name? I want to make sure I get it right because I don't want to crash the game again. So let's make sure I got this right. I thought it was like Kingdom Isle. That's the one. But I think that's the best one to use because we need cars that have 3 rows in them. And there's not a whole lot of selection for that. So, and because Fire in the Hole has 3 rows per car and it has 2 cars on each train. So a total of 6 rows. It's a very small train. There's Kingdom Isle. So, and if we decorate this up to look like the actual thing, I think we can make it work. Yeah, the PTC one. Oops, sorry. And the reason why I think this one works better is because, again, we have 3 rows per car. That's what we need. And we're going to need 2 cars, which it looks like I'm going to have to make the station bigger, which is really dumb. I was hoping I could fit 2 on here. You could easily fit 2 on here, but it's not going to let me. So we are going to have to make these stations 1 piece longer, which kind of sucks with this because I need to save as much space as possible here. So let's go ahead and add 1 more there, which means it's going to make us add 1 more back here too, unfortunately. All right. But that's the only way we're going to get 2 cars on there. So that's still not too bad. I can blend. I think I'll be able to blend the unload station a little bit with the last part of the ride. You can see how much space I have here. Not much. And it has, this is where we're going to have to put the thing and a turn. We have to put the turn for the final drop there. That's going to be difficult. I'm not sure. We might have to go without the unload station. If I'm going to be honest, which is fine because they don't use the unload station very often. It's very, very rare. They only use it if they get backed up on the load spot. So they do unload people back here, but it's very, very slim. They don't do it a ton. Only if they have a hold up here, usually. The VIP cups, they look pretty cool. I actually funny enough, I just picked up the last year's VIP mug. It was just I literally had it set next to me. I haven't opened it yet, but they were giving these out for free for us employees during the this off season. I got it a few days ago in the lounge, and they were giving them out for free. They're just the leftover ones that they had. So they were giving them out to employees for free. So that was pretty cool, because obviously they're not valid for this year. So, but these are really nice tumblers. Like, they keep your drinks cold and warm. So, like, really, really like these things. So yeah, I'll take it for free. Absolutely. They were doing the same thing last year with the 2020 ones out of all of them. So yeah, I think our best bet here is we are going to have to go ahead and do a single station, no unload station here, which is fine. It's not a big deal because, again, they don't utilize the unload very much. So we're going to do that. And that way we have a lot more flexibility with how this is going to work. So I'm going to do my best. We're going to sink this down probably as far as we can go and kind of line this up. And if Frontier does not have to, it doesn't eliminate the piece count, because blueprints can be as big as you want them now. I don't know why they changed that, but maybe they just did it for us. I don't know. But blueprints can be as big as you want them now. So with that being said, I could probably upload this to the workshop, even if it's over 4,000 pieces, because now there's no limit. I think the limit's, if there is a limit, it's very ridiculously high right now. But I will try and keep it manageable so it doesn't crash your game when you try and put it in. So we're going to try it. But again, I am going to be using a lot of custom media on this and everything, and files and such. So anyways, we want to leave a little bit of room here, obviously, for the turn out of the station, because we got to turn out this way. And that track does actually, I've seen it before they closed up these walls. And they actually had them opened up where you could see the track. They're right up next to that wall right there. So this is going to be a turn, and it's going to be right up next to it. So, and then of course we do have the walkway that leads us out to the exit, which is going to be right here. So this little door is it right there? No, it's so this is the entrance. Trying to figure out where I'm at. No, this is the entrance. Right, this is the entrance, this is the exit. So this goes here, and then there's a stairway that goes up and over for the exit side over there. So that's how that works. So I'm trying to get an idea, because I know the inside of the building pretty well, which is pretty cool. So it goes this way, and then you have a stairway here, and that's, I think, going to match up pretty well, actually, right there, if we have the station right here. And then for the queue line, it goes back in here. There's some queue that goes back here. I actually think that's going to be pretty good. And when they go back in here, yeah, I think that's going to be fairly decent. We might pull it up just a little bit. I don't know how tight this turn is, but maybe it's tighter than I think, honestly. But that's going to be, I think that's going to be pretty good. That leaves us enough space right here, because you have the little bit of the unload station, which is right here, and then you have the final brake run that has the little celebration scene right here, and then that turns here, and then of course you have the splashdown, which is on this backside over here. So it's really hard, again, a little bit harder for indoor coasters, but at least we can see how tight we have to have inside. See our building that we're working in. So that's the good thing here. So we're going to go ahead, and before we even do anything here, I might actually go ahead and edit the trains and try and get the trains to look. The only bad thing is these have headrest. That's going to be the only inaccuracy here, I think, is that this car has a headrest. So I don't really know of any other car that would work the best, and this train already kind of fairly fits onto the track, the RMC track, fairly well. And of course we're going to use the RMC track, because even though this track is a little bit thicker than the real one, it obviously is going to be the best fit for sure. And we're going to try and get this as close to the cars as much as possible. I have actually teased it a little bit of what the cars look like, or that I did do a little test of what how I want them to look. So the good thing is I can cover up this booth. There is a wall right here, So we're going to be able to hide this booth, and then the exit's going to be back here. That goes up the steps, and then we can put the booth that goes over the top of the track. So this is going to work out pretty well in our favor, I think, overall. So I'm pretty happy with that. I wish I could thin this station down at least to right here, because there's too much of a straight section here. That's going to be a little bit off, because the train should be, in real life, be closer to up here. But I can't really push the train any further up. This is the shortest I can have the, it appears that I can have the station. I want to have it right here, but it's not going to let me, alright? It won't let me go to 2 cars, which sucks. We're going to do, obviously, go block sectioned. Can't do 2 cars if it's this short, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to keep it like that. We're gonna have to live with it. So because there's not really anything we can do here, unfortunately. So I wish you could really make these a little bit smaller. That's one thing with the stations. I hope Frontier, if you're listening, man, make these stations more customizable. Make it to where, you don't have to make them this long either. I think that could also help, because obviously if you have short trains like this, you have all this extra track here that you don't need, and everything. So, and it's making me not allowed to do the unload station either, because the unload station would be too big as well. So, but we're gonna have to live with it. So let's go ahead and recolor the track here. It is kind of a brown color, like a dark brown. For the most part, kind of a rusty brown color. Something along the lines of that. We're just going to make everything the same color on the track. As for the car itself, we're going to go ahead and get a reference photo up of the Fire in the Hole train. I know it pretty well by memory, but I want to make sure we get it as close as possible. Obviously, so the seats themselves are kind of like a weird looking brown color. So we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna roll with that a little bit. So obviously this is the seats. We'll just go based off of this. We're gonna go a little bit closer to orange. They are that orangish color. We are going to attach scenery to this though, so not sure how much this is going to come through, but we're going to try and make it the colors as close as possible here, and then we're going to cover it up with our pieces that we attach to the trains. So let's go ahead and get this in. Might go a little bit more yellow in there. Sometimes it can be hard to get that exact color you're looking for, It's a little too red. Too much red. Too much red there. That's how dedicated am I? I'm trying to get that exact color. There we go. That's about right. Alright, and then we have the restraints. Oh, whoops, I just almost completely messed that. Restraints are down here. The restraints have a red color to them, so we're gonna stick with that red color. Nice red color. I mean, we could put in custom restraints, but I think just leaving these in here will be fine for now. I mainly just want to get the front of the car, the sides of the car. I kind of want to make those look correct. The inside of the cars, I'm not going to do too much. And then the restraints are animated, so I don't want it to look janky, but kind of crazy old Fire in the Hole. Yeah, they still haven't taken it down. Even to this day, I can confirm it's still standing. They still have not demolished it. Are they going to demolish it? I have no clue. I don't know what the plan is with that area and land. I mean, it's prime real estate if they want to remove it and put something in its place, so... anyways, alright, next colors... This is kind of like the outline. We're going to try and go for that gray that the cars have. Obviously, they have that gray color. See, I never liked how it changes 2 different colors for one color palette. Like, I feel like it should not be that way. It's not going to matter because we're going to cover that up with the train design itself. Again, I did kind of did a little test on this beforehand. So we'll go ahead and start attaching some scenery, getting these trains looking really spicy before we move on. That way we can get them looking nice. All right, so I think we should start probably with art shapes. I could potentially be using the scaling tool here, and I know it could be an inconvenience for some people, but that's just gonna be how it is. All right, it just makes things so much easier. Why have the mod if I'm not gonna use it? Because otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to get down to like 25% or less on this in the first place. So it's going to make it easier for us to kind of make these car shapes in general. And then it does have like that little front bumper that we're going to also attach as well. So it does kind of have like a little bevel. I don't know if I really want to worry about that or not. We'll see. But yeah, just be aware that I'm probably going to be using a bit of the scaling tool here. I think I am, because that is pretty small right there. Maybe we even use this one. I'm not sure. Or we can stick to this one. Beep, beep. I mean, there's no reason not to have this the scaling tool, if you ask me. It's easily one of the better and nice mods to have, if I'm gonna be real. Okay, first things first, I think actually we need to make sure that, let's go ahead and make sure we're doing symmetry 20. We're not gonna, actually we aren't gonna do twinning because we don't need it on the other car, at least for the front. The front we are not gonna twin and apply to all trains. I always forget to do this sometimes. So when I do, I wish it would save your scaling. That's the one thing, like, we got the colors fixed. I kind of wish it would save scaling as well, but it does not save your scaling settings, which is something I wish was a thing, so. We'll sink that in just a little bit there. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead, it resets these things all the time, so you gotta remember to reset them. But we are going to go ahead and use the tools here, like the mirroring tool, which I'm surprised isn't actually an available tool for like buildings and such. It's only on editing these, which is quite interesting if you ask me. All right, so we're going to use this. Obviously, this is the best piece for the front bumper kind of piece that they have here. All right, going into here, we don't want this mirrored, so we'll turn that off. Because this does have, like, this little bumper piece at the front of the car. Go ahead and scale this to the appropriate size. Might push it in if we need to, if it's too big. Need to get a good sense of scale on that. Let's get another photo where I can see the front bumper pretty well. Here's a good one. It's on the drop. That works. It's not too crazy, so we might sink this in a bit so it's not bumping out too far. But we don't really want it to come through that too much. So should we lower it? I don't want to lower it too much. Not too much. I'm going to try and keep the piece count pretty low. I've noticed in Planet Coaster 2 when you attach a lot of pieces to a car, and I mean like a ton of pieces, that it does lower your frame rate quite a bit. It does kind of hit your frame rate pretty hard if you're not careful. So you do have to keep that in mind. Be careful with that. Alright, we do have, like, the badge here that has the Silver Dollar City Rescue Wagon on it. We do have some, like, those designs as well. So what we're going to actually do, we're going to take this... I'm not going to mirror it. We're going to do a smaller version. I don't know why I got rid of my menu. I hate it when it does that. See how my menu to attach scenery's gone? Oh, there it goes. You gotta click add objects. It's still kind of... like if you want to copy something, it's a little difficult to grab a hold of it. You're gonna have to go into the menu and select it. It's a little touchy on attaching stuff. A little, still a few, like, not really bugs, but stuff they could change. Powder keg trains, I did. Were they still a work in progress? What's your favorite part in the Fire in the Hole? Mine's the train. The train scene is phenomenal, the way they put that together. They did a really good... They did a really great job on the train scene. Really, really good job. Alright, this is going to be a little bit darker. I hope I can make this look good. I remember doing it the first time and it seemed to look pretty good. I don't know if I can replicate that, though. I don't know if I ever saved that. I don't think I did. Knowing me, I don't think I did. But yeah, this is definitely going to be using the scaling mod. Just because I want it to be as best as I can get it. It does have smaller pieces on the side there. Should I add those? Could do that. Now, again, I've already committed to it, so we're just gonna stick to it. Oh crap, did it not? I just realized I don't think it saved this. To apply to all trains. You gotta constantly remember that or you're gonna not do the good thing. Because you can't add it afterwards. That's the one thing I hate when you add stuff to the trains. If you don't apply it, or if you don't have this, it resets the settings every time to where it's not... It should be on default, it should have apply to all trains. To me, that should be on default on, but by default it's on off, and it makes me restart every time because the freaking thing... I'm gonna actually, before I get started, to kind of remind me here, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we have 2 trains on the track so I can see the other train, because sometimes that's a good reminder that if I did not add some stuff the way I should have. So yeah, we're gonna get these. These are just temporary, just so we can add a train block section. Can I add them? It's not gonna let me add them unless I have a full circuit, is it? We're gonna make the shortest version of Fire in the Hole ever. Look at that. Now that's Fire in the Hole right there, right? Why can't I add a second train? Why isn't that an option? What? Hold up. It's a block section, and I put another block section there. I have enough block sections, I should be able to add another train at this point. Unless I got all my mod stuff wrong and everything's messed the heck up. Yeah, it's not letting me add a train. Don't know why. It is block sectioned. Okay, there it is, I guess. It just was glitched out a little bit. There we go. So I can see how much it is applying to the other train. That way I don't forget. I can always make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to. Very important. This is a billboard, for those wondering. It's just a billboard with a custom image on it. So we can get a scale of how big the building is in real life. Alright. I know I'm going to spend way too much time on building this car, but you know what? It's alright. It's okay. This is not something we could do in Planet Coaster 1. I'm going to take full advantage of it, so... This needs to, by default, be on. Apply to trains. Frontier, if you want to make more tweaks to the game, make apply to all trains default on. Just saying. Make that the default. Because I forget, like, if you click out of it and such, and forget to recheck that, it's not going to apply to the rest of your trains. And it is, like, so hard to copy them over to the other train if you've already built stuff on there. So always make sure that is on there. You gotta constantly remind yourself. And I forget all the time. And it shucks when you forget. Alright, let's go ahead and do mirrored on this. That's good. Making sure we're good. I'm gonna scale it down even more. We're gonna go back to the first color because it's just an outline. And it needs to, yeah, we'll go about right there is probably good. Is this the beginning of the SDC recreation? Technically, we started when we did our time traveler recreation, which I'm actually tempted to go ahead and get a billboard like this in there and just tweak what I've done. I don't think it would be too difficult. Just kind of tweak the track that I've already made. It could be easier said than done. It's probably would be way easier said than done now when I think about it. But, you know. Go ahead and scale this down as far as it will go. And go all the way down to 10%. I don't know why Frontier decided not to allow us to do anything smaller or bigger than what the in-game stuff is. It's actually kind of surprising. It's kind of like, why wouldn't they allow us to do more, you know? Like, it doesn't break the game by any means, like, and the mod proves that. It's kind of bizarre. I'm always making sure that's on. Making sure it's doing it to that one. You think we'll get any real-life coasters in the game? You mean, like, kind of like a partnership? Like when they did Steel Vengeance and Copperhead Strike? I think so. At some point. I do think so at some point. I personally think so. Alright, we need to make, like, the badge. I don't know exactly what I did last time. I can't remember what I did last time when I first tested it out. Do I still have that photo somewhere that I can reference so I can kind of figure out what piece I used? Because it did look pretty good. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. You can either go look way deep into the chat or scroll down here, because I know I did it a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I saved the photo on my downloads. It would just be a long way down here. Alright, I'm down into Planet Coaster 1 stuff, I think. So we need to scroll up. I probably passed it. Unless I deleted it. Maybe I might not even saved it. I might have copied it for all I know. Just before that. Before that. Pretty sure it was before that or right around here. Maybe. Might have been before. It was pretty far back. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone has that photo on hand. Y'all remember a long time ago, I did post in the Discord of me kind of like just messing around making this, and I made this train. RMC default train added. Yeah, I was looking through it. I think we have a good chance of that. Let's take a look here. Like, obviously we're getting more stock coasters in the next update. They haven't announced... They announced them for the next one, didn't they? Yeah. But it doesn't leave many unthemed coasters, because a lot of these obviously are already unthemed. So you don't really need... Like, for example, this one's unthemed. The dive coaster, I don't think needs one, because it's unthemed enough. The floorless coaster, it's already unthemed. You know, like certain ones like this. Obviously, the launched hydraulic, the one that this one is getting in the next update is getting a dethemed, which makes sense because it does have the theming on the front. The Gersauer is already unthemed. This one a little bit. It's got flames on it, but like I don't think it really needs one. And it really the only thing that is left is the RMC. I want an unthemed RMC. I think it'd be perfect. And it seems like we're getting 2 at a time. So I think this one will be the next one. And what else? Maybe the main Manic Mouse here. I'm not sure. That one could. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of any other ones that got some theming on them. That maybe the Aero Hyper, potentially. I could see this one getting a blank theme. I mean, yeah, you have the this one's basically the Gravity Group train. Maybe that one. I mean, that's not really much theming to begin with, but I could see a blank Zero card potentially. But I think it's going to be the RMC. Potentially this one, or the Aero Hyper, which it's not much theming, but like I feel like a blank front car would make more sense on that. Everything else is already pretty de-themed. Like there's not really much theming on the rest of them, if any. Like from now on, they're really just doing like no theming at all. They didn't really add much theming. Obviously, the B&M Flyer has a de-themed version, and the you know, they already de-themed a lot of them at the launch, so there was just a few random ones that still had theming on them. So yeah, so I think the RMC is a very high possibility in the next update or two. So not the next one, because we already know what the next one's gonna have. So, but yeah. This is a good start here, though. I like how this turned out. I'd love to find that reference of what I've done before. Did I put it in saved creations? It would have been so far back, though. I'd have to scroll so far up. I'm talking like a long time ago. I see some Time Traveler stuff. Back when I was working on Time Traveler, which was... Ah, there it is. I found it. I actually found it. Okay. What did I... Okay, that's what I used for that. I see now. And this already got this looking a lot better than the old one. I do have that slight angle, which is good. Alright, let's go ahead and continue to attach scenery here. What did I use for those lines? I think I used a round pipe or something. I know I used the scaling mod on it. I think I just used art shapes for the badge. I had to have. If I'm gonna be honest. I think we just used some art shapes from what it looks like. So getting the exact shape, I did not do the same shape as it actually is in real life. Maybe we can do something to get closer to that shape. I want to limit the amount of pieces I'm doing because I don't want it to lag out the games or anything. So maybe this could be the bottom of the badge. Maybe not. Trying to get that shaping is the tough part here. How are we going to do that? Maybe we can start with the outline first. That way we can worry about that later. But what did I use for the outline? Like the gold outline of this box. But before we do that, apply to all trains. I'm not making that mistake again. Not gonna do it again. Alright, how do we make this badge? I just wanted to have a reference of what I did in the past. To kind of get me started here. Actually, let's go. I discovered this recently. And there is a sign that's not really a sign. I don't know why it's in signs, but it's this piece. It's just a line. And I have used this actually a lot in my buildings recently. I think we can use this. Just change it to kind of a gold color. Maybe a little darker. And let's go ahead and turn mirrored on, so we're nice and symmetrical on the other side as well. And we'll just put this on the edge. Ooh, the hard part is gonna be doing that piece right there though, because it's so small. Don't know if it's gonna be possible. Well, we can at least go down here and down here. It's like, even with the scaling mod, I don't think we're gonna get this small enough. That is the smallest. So like, I can't make it short enough for like that, for instance. Whew, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but what we could do, and we may have been able to do this from the start, but what we could do is actually like just do an outline of it, but make it gold. This might be our best thing, and it's just on the outside like that. I am a genius sometimes. Not really, but see, I could have used that for the top as well. In fact, we might do that. Instead of using that, we might use this instead, and we're just gonna make it gold. We're gonna make it a little bit larger. Not that much larger. Still not that much larger. We need it to just outline this. If I can pull it forward. And we could do the same thing with that to get the smaller outlined as well. It's just kind of slightly outlined in that gold color, so we're gonna try and make sure we have that outline. So we're gonna do the same thing with this guy out here. Get the same color going, and we'll make it just slightly bigger. It's hard to grab on because it's so tiny. Line that up with that. And we could even pull it up just a tiny bit more. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I really want these cars to look good. I cannot DM you those. No. You don't need YouTube Premium. By the way, I can't send them to you because the files are too big. I can tell you a way you can get them without YouTube Premium, because I don't have YouTube Premium. There are ways you can still do it. Up to you if you want to, but... Alright, if we collect all this, those should move with it. Just gonna sink that down a little bit. It was sticking out a little bit too far. It's looking pretty good, though. I just need to get the badge here. Yeah, I can't DM them to you because the files are too big for Discord without Nitro. You'd have to buy Nitro, which I don't. I'm cheap, okay? I don't have like YouTube Premium or Discord Nitro or all that stuff. I'm cheap. I'm too cheap. Yeah, I can DM you how to get them. There is a way. You can still get them even without all that, so. Very, very simple too. If you want to just get them from YouTube, so. Very simple. Alright, so the next piece is for the mythology set. I need to figure out what piece it is, just to get kind of like that cool little flowy design that you see. We're also, again, gonna have to turn that back on because it keeps turning it off every time you click out. And I don't exactly know where it's under, so instead of that, we're just gonna go into our filters and change our scenery theme to mythology. I just know it's a mythology piece, and I used it on my test build too. My test one is this one, stone decoration, and we're just gonna scale this down really small, make it gold. Hopefully it doesn't look too out of hand. I'm gonna actually rotate it like this because we need it to flow inside that way. We're also going to make it symmetrical. We don't want mirrored actually. So never mind on that. Because I need it to face the other way. I do rotational, where's the other one at? No. Might have to place these manually, and we can just use the snap piece to do that, so. Alright, we might actually rotate it here. Kind of facing like this. Gonna sink it in as far as we can. Really wish the gold matched it a little bit better, but you know, what can you do? answer is not much. All right, we're gonna flip it. Try and mirror it on the bottom as best as we can. Best bet, I'm gonna make it as perfect as I can. Is that even scaled the same? No, it's because it's the different, it's on the other side, so it's kind of a different style. It's kind of weird. So not much I can do about that, really. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, it's not the same. I don't know if I really have any other options to get something similar, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of options for, because again, we're very limited on what pieces we have, so. Can sink that in. Actually, no, that's about good right there, if we just sink it in enough. There we go. So if I take these, we're gonna... Lordy. Alright, yeah, do it that way. Never mind, that's not gonna work. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to copy over, so we're gonna have to kind of manually do it ourselves. I'm gonna rotate it this way just so it's easier to get to the other side. And then we'll rotate it basically where we need it. So we're gonna try and do the snap distance and get it the best spot we can, which is right there. Rotate this down. And boom, perfect. Pretty close. I don't think it's perfectly symmetrical, but you know what? We're gonna have to roll with it. I'm gonna push this one forward just a little bit. Alright, that's gonna work. I think we're gonna use these on the side as well, because there is kind of like a little, one of those little designs on the side panel as well. It's a good day when Joe streams. Oh yeah, it is. Alright, make sure that the other car is looking good, which it is. Making sure it's not missing anything. Getting this front car right is the most important part, and then we can kind of roll through the rest of it. I don't think it'll be too hard to get by all this. I think it'll be pretty easy. Pretty easy. Alright. Now we mainly just have to get the, like the badge on the front. That's the Silver Dollar City Rescue Wagon. So we got to get the right shapes here. Let's see if there's any signs that have a good shape that we could use. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So we're just going to go into our shapes, or signage. And I'm just going to scroll through here and see if I can find a sign that has the kind of shape that we need. If you know what I'm saying. So like maybe something like that, or something that's a little closer. That might work, you know, just looking for that shape that calls out to me that says that is the one. That's a little closer, but it's not perfect yet. Just kind of looking for like a nice little badge shape. Like a normal badge. That you would see, like a shield, kind of like a shield badge. It's more like a shield. More than anything. It's kind of the shape we want to look for here. But I'm not sure if we're going to have what we need here. Or if there's going to be anything. I wonder if the burger is a good shape. Or the surfboard. Or the sushi. We need something that's clear, of course. These. Oh, doggy. See, last time it looks like I just used a couple of pieces that weren't perfect, but I do like that we have the it is cool that we have the circular custom billboards now. Those are really nice. And I've already utilized those too. I actually think they're really, really cool. Not gonna lie, that's actually pretty close, but too bad it's not a solid color. You know. Anyways. Imagine you forgot to copy. This is why I keep it back there, so I can see it. So it can remind me frequently to remember. That's why I said it should be by default. Apply to all trains should be on by default, if you ask me. Got like these, but not really. Could use a pineapple. We just need that solid badge kind of shape. But there's really not much here. I mean, you could do something like this. It's not the same shape, but it could get the job done. And it doesn't look half bad. I actually kind of like the looks of that, even though it's not exactly the same. Like, it still looks pretty legit, if you ask me. As long as it's getting added to that one as well. Like, I don't know about you guys, but that looks fairly solid. Might even grow it up a little bit because it does kind of overhang the top a bit. It does take up quite a bit of space here. So we'll make sure we use up a decent amount of space. Oh yeah, with the transparent backgrounds. That would be really interesting, but I know it'd be really hard to program something like that because it would have to know how to shape around it. Your sign. It could be possible, but I feel like it'd be something that'd be really hard to accomplish. I still appreciate the effort to customize or allow us to customize our trains, though. I might cheat here and get the city part right here and then put rescue wagon underneath. That way I have less pieces to attach to it. Which one do we use? Sans bold. And then the rest of them, we're gonna do the actual attached pieces with the signs here. And they're under MISC, these guys. And we gotta add our silver and color it gold, ironically. Go ahead and copy this and we'll get our dollar. Thank goodness we can make these nice and small. Also make sure this is applied to all trains before I click that down. I will not make the same mistake again. We're not making the mistake. I won't do it. Still want to make that as big as I can. Alright, I'm just going to keep doing this so we can... These aren't going to probably all be the same size, so... But we're going to have them ready. Just being able to add like some sort of logo or something like this would be awesome, because you can attach billboards to these as well, so you could literally put your ride logo, if you wanted to make ride logos, you can actually do that in the game, so pretty awesome. I am actually working on, I don't know when I'll get the video out, but just depends on, mostly depends on when I get it done, but I'm working on a next-gen Vekoma tilt coaster right now. They did it in Roblox. Like I said, I think it could be possible. I just don't know if Frontier knows how to, potentially. Are we applying to all trains? No, we're not. In fact, the dollar didn't make it on. Come on, bro. The dollar didn't make it on. Glad I caught that before it got too far. See, that just it needs to be the default that that's turned on. Needs to be the default. They want to improve this aspect of the game. Make that the default that it's on. Because more than likely, I'm going to want to apply to all trains. It's going to be very likely I want to. You know what? We're just going to... I don't know why I did it the hard way. Actually, no, that's why I did, because it's hard to select afterwards. Rescue... I don't know, the front of this car is looking pretty good. Even better than my last one, I think. Last time, or my test one that I did. Which is a good sign. I'm happy with that. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but it's going to be as close as we can get, I think, for now. You can do that in the game? If you have the right mods, you can. Which, guess what? We do. I'll show you guys an example, or I can show you what I've been working on it. I posted a teaser, a little bit of a teaser in the Discord. Yeah, there's a No Limits mod that is currently in beta. It's not officially released yet. And I have that, and it allows you to put any coaster trains on any track. You can also add special pieces to the track, so I actually have the option to put like switch tracks, drop tracks on any of the coasters. However, visually it doesn't use the same track, so that is one thing you gotta worry about if you do that. So it can be a little funky, but hey, that's how mods are. So. Plus we have the scaling mod right now too, which is what we're using for we actually needed to use for this. But look at that. That's pretty solid if you ask me. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, it's not 100% perfect. The badge is a little bit off, like, style-wise, like, but overall, it looks pretty solid. Looks pretty solid. Now, we do need to do the side panels, which I don't think will be too hard, and then I'm going to put the extra seat cushion on the seats. I think that's about going to be it, though, after we get that. Like, again, I don't want to make this a crazy amount of the piece count, because it does lag out the game if you put, like, thousands of pieces on a train. Even the Time Traveler one was pushing it quite a bit, because it uses a lot of pieces, unfortunately, but... Is it available to test? It is. It's on a Discord server that I'm a part of. It's on the Coaster Sim Society. You just got to request access to be a part of it, and it took me a minute to get it correct, because like it took me a minute to get it going. But like, because you can modify the mod kind of and everything. Yeah, this one looks even better than what I did on the last one. Oops, we're still doing this, so. Alright, at this point we can do twinning and all that fun stuff. So this time we're going to be able to do everything. Now the second cars, like the back cars, do they have the badge on them? Yeah, it looks like it has everything on the front, on the back as well, on the back car. Except for the big bumper piece right here. So before we get too far, I might go ahead and copy everything from here to this right here. That might be a good idea. So we're gonna go ahead and select all this, deselect that. Control X, make sure this is going to everything. It's gonna be hopefully not too hard. What is that? What is that? What are we doing? We're already... Why is everything moving around? This is why it's so difficult if you mess up and need to copy something. If you use any sort of like mirroring or anything like that, stuff like this happens. I don't know why this is separating or why this is moving this way. Did I have this mirrored when I placed it down? Why is it so hard to select stuff sometimes? I'm curious, did I have this mirrored? I don't think I did. It's just so bizarre that it's so obnoxious, and you can also see that this is not straight, and I think that's why it separates. So you kind of just gotta line it up. So like it'll still work. I think I accidentally had this on a rotation piece, and it's placing extra pieces that we don't want. Alright, no, that's fine. That's why there's extra pieces here. I accidentally did double on them by accident. Which is going to make it difficult to copy them as well, because it's going to want it to... Gosh dang it. So if I go in here, yeah, I have the stupid rotational piece on, so there's more than one that's being placed, and I didn't even realize it. You can see it on the backside there. That's where it's at. So I might have to redo these. Gosh dang it. Because I can't just copy them. It's not going to go the way I want it to. Actually, instead of doing it that way, let's just delete all but one. And we're just going to duplicate it here, and we're going to have it set to none. Delete the old one, so we don't have extra pieces. This is... It can be quite a bit of a pain sometimes with the way this works. A little bit. So I hope they make some I really want them to make some tweaks with attaching scenery pieces. Because they are a little bit bleh sometimes. Gosh dang, camera, calm down, camera. Like, just let me work here. The camera just needs to let me work my magic. Can I actually do this? No. Not really. One at a time it is. I like to rotate it up that way because it makes it just a little easier to throw it over here, and then we can just go doot doot and boom. Alright, we are applying to all trains, right? Yeah, okay, just making sure. Make sure I didn't mess everything up. Too bad I can't use the symmetrical features on this. Okay, we're good. Now let's just copy those to this, to the back car as well. My camera will freaking not be crazy. It's too fast. Can't see. It's fine. Alright, we are applying to all trains. The other train is looking good too. Sweet. Love to see it. Alright, I think we got the hardest part out of the way, and that was the front of the car. So now we just gotta do the side panels, which honestly shouldn't be too much. So I think Frontier's come a long way since launch, though. I'll give them that. I have to give them credit, man. Very rocky launch overall. I still enjoyed the game even at launch, but obviously I think everyone was disappointed with the lack of features that were in Planet Coaster 1. Oh, here's a good side view that I got here. But I'm just impressed of how much they've added back into the game as quick as they have. You know, the game's only been out for like, what, 3 months now? Ish? Maybe a little longer. Let's see, December, January, February. Yeah, a little over 3 months. And they've already got a lot of the features back in that were in Planet Coaster 1, and they're starting to get a lot more into it. Now we're going to be getting some of the themes back as well that were in Planet Coaster 1. Can't wait for that, by the way. That's going to be great to get some of those themes back. I'm excited to get Western back, though. It'd be awesome if they added a few more pieces to the set as well. It looks like they're mainly going to be adding everything back that was in there. Like, I recognized a lot of the pieces from the first game in that clip that they showed off, so. Alright, let's make sure we are mirrored. And we're going to do twinning as well. So it also does it to the back car. So we only have to do one side. We only have to put the work in on one side. Alright, let me get... My camera won't move where I want it, so we're gonna have to manually do all this ourselves. Yeah, most companies, and this is what I say, most companies would not even acknowledge that they messed up or say anything to the community, and they'd just be like, continue with their DLC that they were gonna push out, and they would have done that, and it would have just made everyone mad, obviously. But no, they decided we're gonna actually do something. We're gonna listen to you guys and try and get our players back up, or back in, you know. And I've been looking at the player counts. They're going up. I think they're going up because Planet Coaster 1 still has more active players. But Planet Coaster 2 like had 100 less, only like 100 less active or players when I looked. I think I looked at last night. I was looking at the player counts. They only had like maybe 200 or like 100, just barely over 100 less players playing, current players that were playing at the time. And their reviews have gone from mixed to their recent reviews have been mostly positive. So it's awesome to see that they are making strides in that. So applying to all trains? Yes, it is. Okay. So I am rooting the heck for them right now. And I'm really proud that they've really done a lot to listen to what the community wants. Which is fantastic to see from a company. You won't see that very often. They're being transparent. They gave us a roadmap like, hey, we are working on this stuff and we want to make it right. So, and then you'll have those people out there, and there are a lot of them out there that will complain still, saying, oh, this should have all been at the beginning. You know, I think the best thing we can do right now is move on. Move on from it. Get past it. There's nothing we can do about the launch now. Like, that's just how it was. And we're just gonna have to deal with it at this point. And I think what we need to do is look towards the future more than anything. That's what we need to do. Be excited about what they're going to do in the future. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're progressively making these smaller and smaller for each outline. What's going on there? Why is that not where it should be? There we go. I think we're going to keep that off to the side so we can reference it later. And once we get these side panels on, we don't have too much left. I'll add a little bit to the seat cushion. I might even add the speakers in there. Oh, it's because the scaling tool. That's what's going on. Okay. We're gonna have to adjust that on the fly, I think. I think the main reason is this was already at the, yeah, it was already as small as it will go. No! Ooh, that sucks. Alright, so how are we gonna fix that then? We're gonna have to maybe find a smaller piece. So let's see if we can find a smaller piece. Doesn't have to be an arch shape, just something that's smaller. Could try and find. That's way too thick, way too thick. A lot of the times, the first place I do look is signs, because they will sometimes have stuff that would work. Maybe. That's already 10% there. Oh, come on. Give me something. Give me something that will work. We're so close. Honestly, like, we're so close. Honestly, might use this for the side, but I'm not sure. Maybe. Probably just use the mythology piece that we had. Probably be the best. Or, alternatively, we could just use this one piece. Shrink it down. Like that. Copy it. Shrink down the next piece. Go back to our gray. Basically, the gold is just for the outline. Yeah, that is looking good. But it's supposed to go up here too. We might just skip out on that, mostly because I can't get that to work. So, did that copy to everything? Is it applying to all trains right now? Okay, good. Just checking in. Just checking in on all that, okay? Gotta make sure we're good. Let me make sure that's lined up with the edge there. The freaking camera doesn't want to cooperate with me here. See, the scaling on this is already 11%, so we can't really get that further down. But you know what? I think we're just gonna roll with it. Let's go ahead and grab this. And we're gonna get our nice little design on the side. Mythology theme. Let's see, it's usually at the bottom. Hey, it saved our color at least. Oh no, we can't mirror this because if it mirrors it, does it the opposite direction. Why would you do that to me, man? Why does it... Why? When I say mirrored, I'm not saying to flip it around like you're doing. Alright, let's see if we can. We're gonna try to put this down in here. We'll run over here and manually... I don't know if it'll manually or let us, because it's like they're basically attached. Is the problem. So like if you place one down here, you can't really edit the other one if it's mirrored. So we're just gonna have to turn off mirrored and put it in ourselves. Unless we can figure out using like a rotational. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do none. And we shall just, there It won't be hard. We'll just manually put it in on the other side. All we literally got to do is just slide it over like this. We just got to make sure when we copy it to the other cars that we select all of that. Make sure that this is all good. We're gonna move it back. Move it on back. I'm not gonna lie, that car is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the result of how this is looking. There are a couple of small inaccuracies, but my gosh, I think we did pretty dang good. If I do say so myself. Like, I think we did pretty solid on this car. Especially if you're not, like, looking super closely. Like, this looks pretty... It looks like fire in the holes cars. No, they're not going to be able to... You're not going to be able to transfer your parks. That's just not a thing. That's never going to be a thing. I don't think... That's not realistic to have hope for. They've already stated that too, and it makes complete sense. This is not even the same game. It's not... It doesn't use the same assets or anything like that. It wouldn't make any sense that you could copy your parks over into this game because it's not the same. So it makes sense. I understand why people would want that. I think it would be great to have that. I don't disagree with that. Like, I just, realistically speaking, it doesn't make sense. And they've already said they're not going to, or they can't do that. Not that they're not going to, that they cannot actually do that, because they started... Planet Coaster 2 was built from the ground up. They can't just make a system to where you can just transfer your stuff over, because it's not the same game. Obviously, it looks similar, but it's not the same game, so they can't really make that work. If you want all the new features that we have now and such, and everything that they added into Planet Coaster 2, it wouldn't work. Everything is updated, so... But again, I would love that. Absolutely think it would be amazing, but it's just not realistic, and it's not gonna happen. So, if you have hopes for that, don't have any hopes, because it's not gonna happen. Of course, I did say the same thing about Planet Coaster coming to console before it ever had a console edition. And I was glad that I was wrong about that, but like, I just was not expecting Planet Coaster to ever come to console. But hey, it did. To my credit, it did. Or to everyone else's credit that hoped for it, it sure did. Alright, let's see if we can get these seat cushions in here. Hopefully we can make them look somewhat nice. And then I would like, if we can, to also put them at the bottom of the seat as well. So we have that that aspect also. I've never actually done this with any of the trains that I've edited before. I've never actually went in and made changes to like the seat itself. So this is kind of a first-ish thing for me. But we need those contrasting colors because they're pretty prominent in the actual thing. So as long as everything is on, which it is, might lower these down just a little bit. I don't know. They just seem high up because we do have the headrests, which are not actually a real thing on the real ride. But I'm not gonna be able to get rid of them, so we do have to, obviously, live with it. Alright. Let's go ahead and copy these to the rest of the seats, and I think we'll be almost done. I might add the electrical boxes which power the sound on the back car, which will be easy enough. And that will probably be the last thing we need to do, so add like the boxes that are on the back here. And we'll have ourselves a Fire in the Hole train, which is looking pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. I like how this is looking. It looks way better than my first one that I made. Or my my original test version, so I like it. But what do you guys think? Does this train look pretty awesome? I'm pretty hyped about this. This looks a lot better than what I thought I was gonna accomplish. Like, that looks like Fire in the Hole's trains. Minus the headrests, because obviously there's no headrest, but like that, this is the closest train that I could use to pull it off, so. Alright, we're not done. We need one more thing. One more thing. We're gonna add the little electrical boxes that are on the back of the cars, which actually are for the onboard audio. Is what they actually are for. These the little boxes on the back. And I'm not gonna go crazy detailed in here with these. I'm just gonna go a little bit darker than that. I'm just gonna put the boxes on the back here, and that's it. Twinned and not twinning. We just need mirrored and all trains. There's two boxes here. They each have batteries on them, so when one battery goes out, they can switch to the other one. And that is the purpose of these, actually, so. There's a little switch on them, but I'm not going to add the switch. I'm just going to leave it simple like that. Looks fine here. Well, here we go. What's up, Donovan? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. What's happening here? We are creating Fire in the Hole. And we haven't done much except build the trains, but we are using, like, we're going to try and make a one-to-one recreation by staying within inside the building here, because this is an actual overview of the building. So we're going to be using that, but we just finished up creating our Fire in the Hole trains. And I'm pretty hyped about them. They look pretty good. Not perfect, of course, but I think they turned out pretty solid. They look pretty legit. Obviously closer than what we could do in Planet Coaster 1, right? So I'm pretty happy with that. As for the building itself, remember seeing me at Outlaw Run? Awesome. Your videos are so fire. I love the Silver Star City live streams. Yeah, so I'm not officially making a recreation of the park just yet, but I'm getting assets done. So like we made a time traveler recreation, and now we're gonna utilize making a Fire in the Hole recreation. So when we do get to that point, once we get enough updates in Planet Coaster 2 where I feel like I can make the recreation pretty well, I'm kind of mostly waiting for a scenario editor so we can have maybe potentially bigger worlds, but kind of holding out for a little bit. But I am going to start building assets, and then that way once we get there I can just plop them into the park, since apparently there's no there's no piece restriction on blueprints anymore. So yes, I am on Outlaw Run and Powder Keg, or the rides that I work at. Used to just be Outlaw Run, but I got promoted, and now I'm actually over both rides. So I actually am leadership over both rides. Pretty cool stuff. So I get to have the fun chance of running 2 different rides, leadership-wise. So, all right, so this first turn, we are going to have to make it somewhere pretty thin here. Like, it's gotta be pretty sharp, right? We're not gonna have a lot of space. I could potentially move this back, but based on where the entrance is and where the queue line goes, I feel like this is about where we need to have it, but... So, the way we're going to utilize this is we could use drive tires, but we can't elevate the drive tires, right? So... And obviously we are using a mod, so I could use something different if I wanted to. If I wanted to use LSMs or something crazy like that, since we have that mod. We also have, we could use turntables and all the tilt tracks and switch tracks. One cool thing is we can also do the elevator lifts too. The elevator lifts are also a thing you can put in here. Even the, the log flume elevator lift, which, why does the log flume have an elevator lift and the raft ride doesn't? I've never understood that. But you can see when you do use pieces like this, the track style does not switch over for the switch track itself. It does for this piece, but not for the switch track itself, and it has some gaps into it that you have to worry about. So, nice to have that mod, but you also have to keep in mind that, so like the tilt track that has like the arrow or the Vekoma track for it, so, but yeah. I could do a mod tutorial. I probably should, honestly, on how to import mods. It's very simple, so there's not a ton of mods out just yet. The main ones are the scaling mod, and then we currently have a no limits mod, but it's not officially released yet. I'm using it. The way I got mine was in a Discord server, and they actually are testing it right now, so it's not an official release just yet, but you can get your hands on it, technically. So we could do a drive tire, so if I did a drive tire launch, actually, hold on, and made this super slow, and these can be elevated, that could be, like, that could be a thing, actually. So hold on, let's, we're already using mods, so I'm not too concerned about it, so we can start elevating slightly, because we do want to do some slight elevation on each piece. Bum 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 ba da da na bum. But we need to keep enough space on each side so we have space for the scenes as well. This wall, there's nothing on this side, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But we need to make sure we have substantial amount of space on those sides. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Yeah, if you guys really are interested in a mod tutorial, they're very easy to install, really. You just kind of have to throw the files in the right folder, and then that's about it, you know? So... now, obviously, this is just kind of a start here. So, this would be the town scene. It does kind of have, like, this weird turn at the beginning. I'll probably use a POV as well to just... Alright, so obviously we can't do onboard audio just yet because we have to wait till the update on the 20th before they get that added. But you can still technically work around it if we grab this and attach it to the car. You can actually make this work. So the only thing is you'll have to trigger it, so it won't play the second it leaves. But if we like were to drag this underneath, but actually we'll just, for now, we'll just put it back here or have it floating so we can have easy access to it. I think you can trigger this, hopefully. If you can't trigger it, that might, you know, make it a little bit difficult, but if we can trigger it, then we should have no problems. But let's see if we can actually trigger this actually going off. I'm not sure if we can, but we're about to find out. I don't know if we can because I know you can't add custom audio to the event sequencer yet, and the triggers are basically event sequencers, so in a sense. So if we edit it, add objects, we can add it, so it should work. Just gotta test it out here. I don't know how fast this is actually gonna go, by the way. Oh. Did it detach it? This is the first time we've seen the train in action, though. It looks great. Might change the color of the seats. They look a little too orange. But they are looking great. And it didn't actually play, so it might not work with the triggers, unfortunately. So that might not actually work. It did attach, I thought, but like I tried to attach this to the train. I thought I attached it, but apparently I didn't. I actually don't think I did attach it. Is it attached? Okay, it is attached. I don't hear it playing anything, though. It's not playing anything. Ah! Okay, you can't do it that way. So if we click on it, it won't let us confirm it. So yeah, that's not a thing yet. We're gonna have to wait for some updates on that, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're not gonna be here to, we're not gonna really focus on syncing the audio today anyways. Again, that update's gonna come in this next, on the 20th, so we don't have to wait too long, just a few weeks, and we'll be able to attach it to the audio to the train. So it's not a big deal because I know they've already confirmed that this is coming to the game. So again, I don't even think you can trigger custom audio right now either. So like if I was to just not even attach it to the train, I thought it was going to be something that we could do until we got that update, but does not look like it. So but like if I go here and we trigger sequence, edit trigger 1, and I actually use that. Oh, this is another thing. I probably need to change the length on it. Maybe that's why we couldn't hear it. Start, and it doesn't play long enough. Let's have it play for 100 seconds and see if it'll play now. That may have been why we didn't hear anything. Okay, it is working. It was only on for 2 seconds. The first 2 seconds are pretty silent on that. So, have I confirmed it? I mean, basically. I mean, I'm going to at some point, probably. Let's see if this is actually lined up pretty well. Might need to slow it down a little bit.
Town ablaze. Go!
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm gonna tan your hide.
Chickens! Why's it always gotta be chickens? Wiley, drop that dynamite or I'll have to shoot. Go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. Ow! Right after those ball numbers stop that fire. Okay, let's see if this will work while it's connected.
Wiley, drop that dynamite or I'll have to shoot.
Go ahead, Marshall. You could.
It's playing. It just still playing from the last time.
Get after those ball numbers. Stop that fire.
Red Flanders? Get back
Look in here. Put on your pants. I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang bald knobber stole them. Yeah. I might reset once the train. See if it resets when the train goes.
The ball knobbers have set the whole town ablaze.
Go.
I'm gonna tan your hide.
Chicken! Waffles, happy chicken! Wiley, drop
It's
that
not too far off, honestly. Like, I already got it pretty... I might need to slow it down just a pinch by maybe 1 mile an hour. I actually think it would be pretty perfect. Actually, you do need to turn off... We do need to turn off our supports, because we do not need them once we get everything going. So, I'm hoping this leaves enough space where we can fit all of our scenes on the right here, because there is scenes on the right and on the left. So we build up. So when we turn this corner, we should be in the part where he says, "Go ahead, Marshall, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn." What are they doing with the old fire in the whole building? Your guess is as good as mine, man. It's just, right now, nothing. It's just sitting there. It's still sitting there. They didn't do anything with it in the off season. I seriously have no clue. Like, I don't know what the plan is there. I do know who's building our next ride. That's about all the info I have. I'm not going to say who, but I do know the manufacturer of the next ride. And I'm guessing it's going to be 2027. It could be 2026, but, like, it sounds like they've already been working on it. Yeah, I don't think they're in a rush to get rid of it. I don't think so either. Alright, let me make sure I get the layout right. I'm gonna have... actually find it online. Yeah, so... there. And then that. Let me get this in the right position so I can read it the same way. So it's going to go up this way. And then once it gets a certain point, we'll go around here. We need to make sure we leave enough room for that last drop, because it will go on the outside of this track. I'll go here, midway, and then it'll have a right turn going around here, and then that will be the bridge scene. Then we'll go here first, drop, and then it goes back around, and the last couple drops. Okay. I kind of want to get a sketch of the layout here as best as we can. I could probably go just a little bit further. Not too much, but a little bit further. And then this will take us around here. To that scene. This will be the go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow! And then we'll roll around Red Flanders. Red Flanders, come back in here and put on your pants. Pants, Sadie? I ain't got no pants no more. Dang bald knobbers stole them. So, you could hit the broadside of a barn, goes right here. And then Red Flanders will be on the turn right there. Again, I could probably be using a POV as well, just to, which I am in the POV myself. So let's go ahead. Fire in the hole, POV. That way I can get an idea some of how these turns are, because I know some of them aren't the same as it kind of shows on that layout. Yeah, that's why I did that. That looks good. Now these scenes are a lot shorter than I would think. So that's why I did it that way. So this is where we're at right here. Is that slightly... Oh my gosh, why is it slightly turning? Like, come on. Come on, bruh. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow. And then Red Flanders is kind of like a nice round... Yeah, so like I think... Looking at the layout here... Go there, it's the forest, and then we go the town, the barn. So this is basically one big turn. That's what it is. It's one big, like... One big turn like this. That will go kind of like a 180, basically. Nice big 180. Let's go 45 degrees. That's actually about perfect right there. Alright, so we'll continue to go upwards here. So when we get over here, we need to be above this track. We need to be above the town scene. So this is another thing. You gotta make sure we're elevating enough. And that will get us to bugs. They don't call me bugs for nothing. Yeah, we're gonna have to elevate a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and head up to closer to 5. Hurry! The ball numbers are gonna blow up the bridge. Bum 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 bum. Cool if they added an indoor launch coaster, but it was a record breaking roller coaster. It broke its current inversion record. Imagine then making a 20 inversion roller coaster. Set up firefighter figures on this ride in the game. In its current state, I would have to, it'd be really hard, right? I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do just yet. I figured I'd at least get started on this until we get more updates. I'm not entirely sure. I did make patches, though. He's in the workshop, if you guys didn't know. I did create patches at one point. During the burning building scene. Or the Kinney Bridge scene. He is in there. I need exactly 45. Is there a little bit of a straight track there after we turn that corner after Bugs? That's Bugs, and then we'd make a right-hand turn. Is there a little bit of a straight track there? That's what I need to know. Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's mostly just one big turn. And then looking at the thing here, it looks like it's pretty much directly over this track, so I'm gonna put one straight section though, and then we're gonna do 45 here. I'm making sure I have plenty of space this time though. That's one issue I had last time, is I didn't make the track high enough. I don't think so. So we're gonna kind of make sure of that this time. I don't want to make sure I go too high either. I'm pretty high up now. Hurry! Fall numbers are gonna blow up the bridge. Let's go 2 degrees here. I still want to keep going up, but I don't want to overdo it. And we're gonna make the right turn. And then it's the pitch black scene. Kind of, well, in the new one, it's more like the forest scene. And then once we turn right again, we're going to be headed into the bridge scene. I'm just curious of how close we are. Like if I just had it right here, how close are we with the audio? Let's check it out. Whole town ablaze. Go. Okay. Then right about now we should be getting to the town scene, which we are. Chickens, and then Bugs would be right there. It's pretty spot on already, because that's where this would be. And yeah, the firefighter. This turn is Flanders. We're pretty close already, timing-wise, like, based on where we are in the layout. And Bugs would be right here. I'm getting this pretty close. Yeah, I got Discord up. I can see it. Alright, we're a little bit behind here. Yeah, a little bit behind right there, but like up until the cabin, we were actually pretty good timing wise. Oh man, those trains look so good. I'm so happy with them. They don't look half bad, do they? Don't mess up my new pants. only thing that's off-putting about those powder keg trains is like the big giant box behind the barrels on the front. And I know that's probably because of how big the Zero car is. And there's not much you can do about it. Besides that, it looks pretty solid, I would say. Even attempted to make the restraints. Like, I understand, it's just, that's the big inaccuracy there, is that. I know it's kind of hard to figure out what cars to use for that. I'm going to have to figure it out, too. Like, the headrest that you added on there look good, and everything. It's just, the Zero car just looks, or the front car just looks a little weird. That was the only thing. And I know there's not much you can do using that train, but I'm glad that the custom audio is working properly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw you did the back car, the back Zero car, the little electrical box car. Don't mess up my new pants. Get those bundles under the tracks. Can't you even tie a ding-dang knot? Hurry, what's the matter, Bugs, you chicken? Bum bum ba-dum bum. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of those cars though. Alright. 1 second, I'll be right back. Gotta do something real quick. Alright, we're back. Alright. So yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Good so far. I probably don't want to do, I don't want to do too much more of the layout. I kind of want to start, I would rather do more of the scenes a little bit first. I don't know how much I want to do today, but just because I kind of want to wait until we have the Western pieces. They're going to help out a lot, I think, just in general. Once we get a lot of those assets into the game. So today I mostly wanted to get the car done, the train, right? And then maybe start a little bit on this this layout here. And yeah, so that was the couple of the main things I wanted to get done. I think it's going to line up perfectly though with the building, because obviously we're going to be able to hide this panel and put the actual panel that's up in the booth that's up top. It's going to be really good.
The ball knobbers have set the whole town ablaze. Go!
Oh no, why are those... Oh no. You see that? Oh no. It's not attached to the right car. I just realized that. Okay, hold on, we're gonna have to fix that. It's attached to the wrong car. The front panel there. If you do the advanced move tool, it doesn't again, they need to work on that, man. It's just it's a little iffy. A little iffy right now. There we go. Like I can get that on there properly. Looks good. Alright, we do have it attached on that car now though, so that should be good. So it should move with the correct car now. It's just insane. Look how big this speaker is. Like how absurdly big it is. It's as big as the coaster seat in here. Like the scaling in Planet Coaster is just insane. That's why it's so nice to actually have a scaling in the game now. Alright, should be fixed now. There we go. Now it's moving with the right car, or animating with the right thing. What's it always have to be chickens? Go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow! Stop that fire. Come back here and put on your pants. I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang bald knobbers stole them. Much. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I'm glad there's some sort of workaround with the speakers. What is Powder Keg's launch acceleration in FPS squared? If it helps, it gets to 53 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds. Or yeah, 2.8. Yeah, 53 and 2.8. Wait, I got a sign back here that's stats. 53 and 2... Yeah, it's right back there. I actually have a sign back there on my shelf that actually has that stat. 53 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. I don't know if that helps, but that's the only info I got for you. Takes 2.8 seconds to get to 58 miles an hour. Or 53 miles an hour. What's up, my new pants? Get under the tracks. Can't you even tie a ding-dang knot? Hurry. What's the matter, Bugs? You chicken. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and find the right thing here. Alright. We're gonna do video wall panel lit. It's the one we want. $16, that's the 2 meter. I'd say probably the 4-meter one. So at the end of the ride, we finally can have our celebration scene, which I could not get to work in Planet Coaster 1, but it works here, so... Yeah, it's the lighting, that's why it's like that. So we got the celebration scene there, and it works.
You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
I think we're gonna be able to fit it in this building okay, though. Like, it's actually gonna fit in the building. Woo-hoo-hoo, wow, yeah. Fun times. Bum, ba-ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Bum, bum, bum. Or actually, we do want a block section here, because that way we can stack our 3 trains right there. Okay, so we've got to do the turn here in a moment. Alright, and then that will be where the splashdown is. Hopefully we get that kind of right. I didn't leave a whole lot of space there, so hopefully... I don't think there's not really much on the right side, so I hope we're okay there. And the drop's angled, so like all the scenes up there will be right there. That way we kind of have like our block section kind of set up here. We get a train there, a train here, and honestly, we should have a train here too, but I don't think we can stop right there, so we might have to put it right here, which is fine, because the train can also stop around right after the splashdown. You can see we're gonna have it kind of dip up out of the water there, like that's what it would do. And I'll probably put some brakes right there because the water won't actually slow it down, so we're gonna put brakes in there to simulate the water actually slowing it down a bit. We're not gonna work too far from the back, but I wanted to get a little bit in there so we can kind of match where we're at in the building. So that's looking pretty solid. So yeah, and then I think we're gonna fit it pretty well in there actually, so pretty cool. Now one thing is, I don't know if this is using the trigger or the speakers using the trigger, because it starts before the train even moves, unless I have the trigger underneath the train. But it's not playing on this one, which I don't think I copied it to that one, so... And then I'll be very strategic of where I put block sections, because I'll place the block sections where I want them before the next train can start moving. So in real life, the train in the station can't move until this hits about, I want to say it's around Flanders is when the other train can start moving. Or just after Flanders. Around there, I'm pretty positive. Because this ride can run up to 5 trains. Most of the time they only run 4, but they can run up to 5 trains. Look at this brake, what the heck? I didn't change it back. I accidentally made it like a trim brake. I don't know why. I'll just keep it like that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out even better than what we did in Planet Coaster 1. 100%. This is definitely a nice start, though. Pretty happy with it. I'll actually type it out. Fire in the hole. And I wish we could have fit the unload station in, but it's alright. We'll make do with what we got. Man, I'm still happy with how those trains turned out, though. Pretty happy with that. Alright, see, now we can have 3 trains stacked up right now. I think there's a small amount of piece count on the trains that it's not going to lag us out. Thankfully. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm so happy with that. If I actually make a real recreation, and actually get everything started in there, it's gonna be amazing. Amazing. Because I'm actually, if I do another recreation of Silver Dollar City, I'm definitely going to do the floor plan. And since we can do these huge panels now, especially with the scaling mod, I would be able to probably make the entire park fairly easy, honestly. It probably wouldn't be too hard to do, if I want to be real. Like, it's going to be pretty easy, actually. I think it'd be pretty easy. So to fit the whole park in this. So I could do a test. Actually, I think I might actually do a test and make the floor plan and see if I can fit the entire park in a sandbox. I'm not entirely sure if we have enough space, but we can definitely see if we do. Like, we can actually test that out and see how much we can fit in an actual world here. So that's something that is something we could definitely take a look at and see if we can actually fit it in. I think we probably could, though. I think it's possible. Maybe that's something I do, since we can make floor plans fairly simple now. I think that actually be a good idea to try and test out and see if we can fit it in. Because if I can fit it in, maybe I'll start this recreation right away. Honestly, or sooner rather than later. I know some people would probably be excited about that, and that way we can properly make. I'm not going to make the same mistakes I did in Planet Coaster 1 when we do that. However, if I do that, I'll probably wait till I'm done with my big project right now, which is Windland Adventure Resort. So, and I'd probably do the same thing that I did with that and make sure that I'm doing weekly uploads and weekly episodes and try and do a commitment until it's done. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is something along the lines of that. So, and then when I have that inspiration or motivation to, we'll just pop in here and, like I am right now, and just get some assets done, you know? That way when we get to it, you know, we just plop the right in, you know? That's kind of what I'm planning to do here with, like, Fire in the Hole and stuff, or Time Traveler, you know? And build some, like, individual buildings, you know? Could be something that I could do as well. Work on individual buildings, and then once we get to it, just plop them in, and basically just make the layout of the park with a lot of the assets already completed. I think it's a lot easier to do it that way, and we'll see, you know? I think that's all I'm going to really do for right now. Until we get some more updates, I think it'll be fine for now, but until I really want the Western update to really go ahead on this, but I'm definitely going to save it up and work on it from time to time. You know, it's going to be this is going to be one of my side projects while I'm kind of waiting around, you know. As for coasters here, I want to take a look at some of these coaster trains and see if it'd be good for Powder Keg. I don't know, the multiverse coaster maybe? I'm just trying to look at some possibilities. I want something with, like, not much on the front to make it a little bit easier. Obviously, the restraints aren't going to be the best, but we need something that has two rows each car, and we would do 4 cars, so basically what it's set up right here. There is a back car, though, too, with the electrical box that we would have to build as well, which could be a little tricky. So I don't know if there's actually something in the game that has something like that. Because the animation would probably be a little wonky if you just attached it to the back car. I know that Silver Coasters, you used I think you said you used the Gia Vanilla here, which actually does have a back 0 car, which is what Powder Keg has. So I can understand why this one could be... This is actually the train I used in the Planet Coaster 1 recreation, was the Gia Vanilla Hyper. As you can see, it does have that back 0 car, which is something that Powder Keg has. It's going to be hard to cover that up, but because of how much space. I wish I had a flat front, though, so we didn't have to cover so much up. That's the only thing with it. The only problem is that it is 3 rows per car. So that one's doesn't really work. Intamin 4-seater. So you didn't use that one. I thought you said you used the Gia Vanilla. At least that's what I thought you said. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. You definitely used this one. I can tell now. I see it now. Yeah, you definitely used this one. The Gia Vanilla would be perfect if it had 2 rows per car, but it has 3 rows per car. So that obviously doesn't work very well for us, unfortunately. Try and see if we have any options here. Now, this one actually is pretty interesting, like the gravity group. It's only 1 row per car, unfortunately, but I think the restraint system looks a lot more like, looks a little bit closer to the S&S ones. So it would be somewhat of an something. Oh, you said you'll use it if it doesn't work. Only problem is it doesn't really match up. Same with like this one. Like there's a few of them. Like what I like about this one is that it's very empty, right? Very, very empty. Like there's not much to the cars or the trains. And the restraints look perfect. Or like they're very similar. So like this would be a huge huge one if it was only 2 rows per car, but it's 3 rows per car on that one, so I can't really utilize that one either. Same with like this one. There's the minimal ones are the ones where I'm like, man, that would look so good. What about the hydraulic trains here, the de-themed versions of that? Obviously we don't have them yet, but like it's gonna be the next one. You know what I mean? I'll have to go look at what they look like again, but like that could be this could be an interesting one too. The de-themed version of this, which is coming on the 20th. So, because it is 2 rows per car, and it won't have the theming on it, so doesn't really have a back car though. What about? This is just out of curiosity. How is the junior coaster, de-themed junior coaster look? I know it's only 1 row per car though. There it is. It's a little bit too small too. The trains would probably be too small. Really trying to see if I can find it. That one that just makes me go, aha. That's something we could do. You know what I mean? That's kind of the moment I'm looking for right now. We are getting the de-themed version of this one as well, which, pending, we don't know if we'll be able to utilize some of the, or be able to add cars to it. Another interesting one here is the Schwarzkopf. Very standard train. I mean, the multiverse could be a good one to try, or the multiverse coaster could be a good one to try. It's got the right amount of rows. There's not much to the cars. Like, I feel like you could theme them up pretty easily. So far, I think it might be a good idea to try the multiverse cars. Not to mention, this would be very good if I use the same tactic that I did in Planet Coaster 1. This would work perfectly so I could do the switchover track to the Buzzsaw Falls track. That actually would work really well, because it actually has the diagonal track to it. Like, that'd be perfect for the Buzzsaw Falls section, is this type of track style. The only thing is we'd have to get a nice launch in here, which I do have the mod, so I could use a different launch besides the drive wheel. I wouldn't have to use the drive wheel launch. The drive tire launch. So obviously it's not a drive tire launch, so. And we go 53 miles an hour, and this is the acceleration. And if we can get the acceleration fast enough, you know, let's try it. It doesn't have a hold section though. Oh yeah, that's fast. Very quickly. Some acceleration right there. But I'd probably use an LSM here and just do the hidden track, which works perfectly because we'd be retracing it with the SNS track anyways, so. Alright, early powder keg tests. That's what we're doing here. Early powder keg tests. Alright, and then the SNS track that we could use could be the Murphy and Son Star Loop. We could do that one, or I think there's one other one that we could also use that has that kind of style. What was it, though? Or is that it? thought there was one more. That may have been it. I thought there was one more. I know the other one in Planet Coaster 1 was the weird, swinging coaster that was very awkward. Or very weird, because there's only one in existence. I know that one was another one. Oh, it was the motorbike coaster was also one of them that was very... I had that track type, so I guess we would have to use this one. That's so cool how you can actually snap it. I think that's new since the update. So what I would do is take these. The track is so much thicker though. Yeah, basically we'd go in here, retrace our track. Da-da-da-dum. With the more S&S style track. We can use shorter pieces to be more precise if we want. Only thing is you're gonna get these cross ties. That's the crappy part about it. There is a potential thing I could do to get rid of those, but like it would take a lot of work and I don't even know if it would work properly. So you'd have to test it out. Probably more than anything. Can I not make that shorter? I can't make shorter track pieces in this track? Like I can... for the other ones. Interesting. That's very interesting. Alright, there's your early powder keg testing. You smell smoke. Hey, look out! She's gonna blow. I didn't pay attention to the speed of this, so. Yes, with the current mod I'm using, yes, you can change the... I ain't got no pants no more. The dang ball knobbers stole them. Bugs for nothing. Worry, they don't bite much. Bum 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 bum. New subscriber here, came over here a day or two ago because of... oh yeah, saw your stream in my subscriptions feed while I was still at work. Glad to be able to tune in now. I'm humble. Thanks you so much for subscribing, and also awesome to see a lot of new people come from there because like I've already gained like oh, how many subs have I gained? It's nothing like crazy, but I did see a pretty good increase out of pretty quickly. So it was awesome to have him shout me out in a video and everything. Obviously, it's huge for me because I'm not obviously only got like 14,000 subs. He's got over 1 million, so it was awesome to see him or see his video on Planet Coaster as well. That was awesome, and I'm glad that I was some of that inspiration, even though it was on a it was not a very traditional video of mine either. That like I usually play the game in a more realistic fashion. So like that day I was just kind of messing around. Like once in a while you gotta mess with your guests and have fun and do funny stuff like that. Like, but most of the time I'm doing more serious stuff. So, but I do appreciate you taking the time and checking out my channel. I do appreciate that. So thank you for being here. Awesome. So yeah, let's go ahead. And try this out. This isn't going to be official. I'm just going to test the grounds here, alright? Just to see how we're doing. Alright, what are the seat colors? Those are the seat colors, so make those red as well. I try to match the colors as best as I can to like the car at first, is that way we, if color does poke through, it's not gonna be too far off. So nice red pieces there. I want to see if maybe we can potentially use this for the the multiverse trains as the powder keg trains, the base for the powder keg trains. I don't know if we're gonna have to make our own barrel or if we can attach our barrel to be on the front here. It is kind of like a half barrel, and you don't want it to like go down too far in the first place. So I've been mostly thinking about making my own, like out of wood pieces and such like that. It's kind of what I was doing in, oops, sorry if that was loud, Planet Coaster 1, or when I was testing it in Planet Coaster 1, before we had Planet Coaster 2. It was pretty cool, so. Alright, so let's see. We do have the rounded headrests that go up here, so. Do we have any arch shapes that would actually match that? We would have to do something like this. Make this nice and small. Probably even smaller than that. I think we can get it small enough though, yes. And we would want to match that with that. Do something along those lines. I think once we get, if we got the right textures and everything like that, I think it would actually look pretty darn good. But yeah, we're just gonna see what we're working with here. Wanted to, I could try and put the SNS. It says SNS on the seat headrests. I could try and make the lap or the restraints look the same, or like they would in real life too, if I wanted to. We could put the other piece there as well if we wanted. But just testing kind of testing the grounds here of so let's see if we can get a good shot of the trains. Actually, I work on these things every day, but I still need references. You know. I think we could potentially work with that in a good way. So. So I would go, let's go to my hearted. And I would start like right here. Let's go ahead and scale this down. Basically the start of the barrel. Alright, so I would do this as a starting point, and then we'll need it to be a little bit more orange. A very orangey kind of bit color for the barrel. Maybe a little more yellow in there. It's not hard to find that perfect color, you know. And I would definitely want to copy it to everything. Unfortunately, it doesn't, since it's the front car, it doesn't copy it everywhere, so. But I'm not really trying here, we're just testing the grounds, that's all we're doing here. This is kind of similar to what I did at one time, too. Probably do 2 rotations there. Yeah, we'll do 2 rotations. Otherwise, it will take a little too long to get. And we really only have to go until it is about vertical or horizontal there. Come on. Come on, camera. Color-wise, I think that's pretty good for the barrel. Alright, I'm actually gonna take all this, we're gonna pull it out a bit, because I can't see. But I do think it's a good idea for the multiverse coaster. I feel like its trains would work pretty well for this if we can get everything we need attached to it. So it kind of depends. Now, the hard part here is we're gonna have to go like that, but I would definitely use a smaller piece for this. So like this guy. Okay, we need to figure out what was the scaling on this. 31%. So we need to scale it down to 31. So it matches right there. Okay. And we would have to go here. This might be a little bit too big, but honestly, we can, with the scaling tool, we can just scale it wherever we need to, honestly. I just thought about that. I was like, wait, we can just scale it. Select all of it and scale it exactly to what we need. No problemo. Bum, 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 bum. I just realized I could be doing that. I was like, that would make things a lot simpler if I did. But you get the idea there, and that's would go on and build a barrel. Basically. I think it could be possible. I'm not gonna sit there and do the whole thing though, I just wanted to kind of get an idea here of what we're doing. It might be easier to build the barrel away from it. Like, build half a barrel, and then just stick it on there. That might be the best, easiest way to do that, so. Let's ride. The bomb lovers have set the whole town ablaze. Go. I'm gonna tan your hide. Go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I'm gonna have to change the volume of that. Don't call me bugs for nothing. Worry, they don't bite much. Bum 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 bum. The ball number's gonna blow up the bridge. Mess up my new pants. Oh gosh. Nice. Think about getting a nice little screenshot here. Potentially. Why can't I do that? There's a path there. I wanted to get a nice screenshot. There we go. Bum 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 bum. Alrighty. Thinking about potentially, uh, uploading the trains to the workshop just so the trains are available for anyone that wants them. So like, not the layout or anything, but just the trains themselves. Which could be pretty cool. Can you save it as blueprints even if they're not done? That is a question. I don't think you can, actually. I think that's why most of them actually have, like if I went into my blueprints for my coasters that I want the train of. Well, maybe not. That one's fine. And that one they didn't, so I don't think you have to. Doesn't seem like you do. Rides and tracks. Bum 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 bum. Custom trains. Modeled. Mod. Did I spell modeled right? I don't think I did. Mod. I think yeah, mod. I put mold. I don't know how to type mod. I knew something looked weird. I don't know what I'm doing. End game price 29,000. Why is it so much? Hello. Alright, what I wanted to really do. I know it wasn't finished, so. Edit coaster, and we're going to delete all the track. All but the station. Should I make this fancy? I could make this fancy. We could go fancy here. I could give it a background. Like a fancy background. Just for the picture. Do that nice blank white background. Gotta get just the right lighting. Bum bum ba da da dum bum bum. Nice up close shot with that white background. Let's go ahead and make sure we have the best possible lighting here too. $12 o'clock might be the best lighting, which is what it was at. Look at that. That's beautiful right there. That's real pretty. We'll just save over that. That way when you go into coasters, you have a nice fire in the hole train. Beautiful. I'm gonna upload this to the workshop, so if anyone wants to use this train, it will be available. Because why not? Might as well. So if anyone wants it, there it is. On the workshop. Share code right here. You can go download it up now. If you would like to. You don't have to. Wait, did I still have that speaker attached to it? I may have had that speaker attached to it still. I do. I should probably delete that and update it real quick already. These are the PTC wood coaster trains, and we just attached all the scenery on it. we're gonna go ahead and update it, even though we just uploaded it. Just so we can get rid of that. It's already got an update after being up for less than a minute. Someone already downloaded it. That's funny. Now, I don't even know if you need the mod to put this train on this tracks, but if you do, I don't think it will crash the game, as far as I know. Because there's other ones on there too that didn't end up crashing, so. Like the Vekoma Tilt Coaster and such that I have made, like, I think they're okay. I think they're okay. Go ahead and save that. We're gonna exit to main menu. That's all we're gonna do for that for right now. That was you. Oh, well, there you go. Ever since the last update, it gives me this this message every single time that my local game files have been modified. I could say do not show again, but I don't know. I like it showing up to remind me that I have mods. But yeah, go download it if you guys want the family coaster train. I guess you could modify it more if you want to. Oh, you're not downloaded. It's not downloaded anymore. Did you uninstall it already? It's at 0 again. Oh, it's 1 here. I guess it just hasn't updated right here. Oh, now it has. I don't know. Sure, code's right there if you guys want, if anyone on stream wants it. Or you can just go to the browser, like, right now, because, like, it'll be first on the thing since it's new. It'll be on the first page. Speaking of, let's see what everyone... There's a puppet show. Nice, that's interesting. Disso here has some really good stuff. Like, look at that. That's pretty right there. I'm actually gonna install that. Anytime I play casually, sometimes I like to... because believe it or not, I do play casually sometimes. I like to just plop stuff down. Instead of, you know, having to build detail for lots of super detail. It's got a lot of good blueprints, though. Yes, they will have their toilets this year. Strike. It's an interesting one. I seriously think he, like, always puts these up for updates, even though he doesn't make any changes, just so he can keep atop of the, because these things have updates, like, every day. I don't even keep up with them because of it. I'm just like, eh. I don't think there's an actual update. Hey, look, Manta recreation. Nice. Her life is a lie. Why? What happened? Crazy spin. Oh, that's a nice wheelchair. Ba-ba-da. Ooh, getting a little tired. Probably gonna head off here in a minute. This was a very much a spontaneous stream that was not planned, so I literally just like, let's stream, why not? Let's do it. Let's just hop in, even though it was late. Yeah, it's after midnight now. A B-theme multiverse car. Play the game casually. I usually play it more casually when I'm doing like the scenarios or like the career mode. Just trying to get the objectives done. That's usually the time I usually kind of just use blueprints a lot. Seems a lot of Starbucks builds around. Disneyland Paris Hotel, work in progress. My workshop. Let's see how good my stuff is. Hey, someone else downloaded it. Thank you. It's a surprise Time Traveler doesn't have as many. Only 134. It requires the scaling mod, though, for it to work. There's patches. Really bad patches, but it is patches. The new fire in the hole is really scary. Alright, let's go, and I was gonna show you, that's right, I was gonna show you guys the tilt coaster. All I've done so far is the layout. I still need to do custom supports next, but I do have the layout done, so that is something. Oh, it just flew by. It's a very small layout too. This is a very compact, small ride. Also put in an unload station. But it utilizes the custom trains that someone made to make it look more like a Vekoma, next-gen Vekoma. So I decided to make a tilt coaster out of it to make it look like a next-generation tilt coaster, kind of like Siren's Curse or Circuit Breaker. I wanted to make my own blueprint with it, so. Now, if you don't have the mod, this will crash your game. You cannot use this unless you have a mod for this, because of this piece right here. Because of the tilt track, you will yeah, your game will just die. If it's not because of the train, because you need the mod for the train as well, but like you don't need the mod for the train, actually. So like it will load up like this just fine even without the mod, but since there is an element which is this tilt track, it would crash your game. No drop track. I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity, but I can understand a little bit why they would want to keep it exactly the same as well. At the same time. Alright, let's get a POV of this. I made this layout in like 30 or less minutes. Pretty proud of myself, actually, that I didn't take that much time with it. It's gonna have some gray supports too. I like the gray supports. Gray supports look great on like any coaster, really. It was a little bit rough to try and figure out how to get the tilt track to work with different cars or different trains, because it wasn't something that was easy to figure out at first. And at first I didn't think it was gonna work, but I got it to work. I just had to change a setting and it worked perfectly fine. Now there is that little gap right there. I'm gonna fill that up. I do have Vekoma track pieces that I can fill that empty spot up, which we just haven't done yet. All I've literally done is work on this layout. Now I made this to where it does like this 180, almost 180, so you can get a good shot of that first drop from like the station area and such. It's going to be very photogenic was the idea. Only downside about this tilt track is it's using the old Vekoma track. So like it uses a different track style for that, but it does work. Got some cool sound effects on it too. And a lot of the new gen ones, pretty much all of them right now, have like the twisting track. But I decided to just do a straight drop for mine. Trying to keep it pretty fast pace. Have some good airtime moments. We have an Elmerman. I'd say the worst paced is this spot right here, but it still looks really good. And we have some like really tight, fast rolls as well. Kind of like Siren's Curse. And we have a finale doing it as well into the brake run. Again, it's a very quick ride. Very short layout. I think the mod like confuses everything here because it's, unless it changes on me, but like the testing results, it shows it's only 623 feet long, which is obviously not right. It's a short ride, but it's not that short. Don't know why I did that. And that the duration is 152 seconds, which is definitely not correct either. Yeah, I like this layout. Pretty small, and then we'll get some custom supports in there. But what I wanted to do is we do have like these selection of track pieces for the Vekoma. These little Vekoma track pieces, and I was going to use these to fill in this little empty gap. Just gotta change the color. But I think this will work out alright. If we just line it up. Planet Coaster 2 at its finest. If you're talking about the glitch, I think that's a mod issue. I think it's because of the mod I'm using. I've never seen it do that before. I think it's because I'm using an element that is not usually... Oh, it placed that like 50 times. Okay, that was the last one. I completely messed that up. Alright. Alright, we'll edit the scenery group. Can I select the entire track piece? I can. We are going to change the color of the rails to be that gray, though. Can I look at your coaster? I don't know, I was getting ready to hop off here. Yeah, we'll do something like that. They gotta fill in that gap, and it looks pretty darn good. Yeah, Planet Coaster 2 has come a long way since launch. Like, it's in a really good spot right now, and it's only going to get better with these next few updates. Frontiers put so much time and effort to get the game where it needs to be, which makes me really, really happy. I'm sure it helps make a lot of other people happy too. Like, this is such a good piece. Like, obviously it's not 100% perfect, but like, whoever made those matched this pretty good. Pretty darn good. They even have launch sections. I mostly just needed it for this because it left an empty spot there. I'll have to fill in the catwalk as well. I think the first support structure we're gonna make or work on is definitely gonna be the tilt track. Just RQ real quick. Oh, I guess I can real quick. Is it on the workshop, or just gonna have to hurry because I'm about ready to pass out, man. Now this will look great once we get all the ride supports in and everything. Bum bum bum. Alright. I don't need to save that. Really don't need to. I kind of teased it on my Discord, but if you guys want to see a sneak peek of Winland, where we're at on that. Workshop. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Powder keg track. It is a blueprint. So we'll just load into here and then we'll just place it in there. Look, it's Gulpy. He's got his own show now. Alright, so we're hard at work here on Winland Adventure Resort for episode 8. This is all new over here. Last time when we left off, we stopped at the Latte Love here, but now we got the Splash Emporium, we got a little gift shop, and we got a little mini stage where Gulpy's performing. Did I forgot to put glass in there? I think I did. We got a stone guy that's running the booth. I got a couple of food trucks over here, and we got quite a bit of empty space here, but this is going to lead up to the entrance of the water park right here. This is going to be where the water park is, literally right here. Then we have this sports grill, which I'm going to utilize the restaurant feature once the restaurants come to the game. So I'm going to leave it pretty open in here. I just wanted to get like the first bit of it, like the entrance area for it. It's going to be pretty cool, especially walking around first person. It's pretty cool right now. Amazing. Amazing. Of course, once we get all these water effects in, and we're going to have some fire effects as well coming out of those pipes. Be pretty awesome. My headset has informed me that it is low on battery, so I'll have to plug that in. Dun, dun, dun. Really haven't walked too much around here in first person to see how it's looking. All too much. I have a little bit, but not a ton. Looks so good, especially when you do the zoom in. Got Joe's Barbecue. The Adventure Hotel in the distance. The bus right there. Tickets and information. The Winland Theater. All looking incredible, man. Alright, so we walk this way. It's gonna look so good. So good. Where are you going? It's a ride attendant. Look how all this is looking though. Like you got the hotel there, the entrance area, like the views are gonna be spectacular, especially from first person and like the zoomed in here. Once we get all that taken care of, get that going, everything's gonna look so cool. So cool. We have the pool area for the Adventure Hotel. Amazing. And if we take the stairway, the very dark stairway up here, it's light up here though. It's gonna get darker as we get up here. I don't know. Don't know what's up with that. Stairs. Come out here, and we're at the beautiful. I keep forgetting to fix this lamp. It was like that last time too. We'll have an amazing view of the parks from up here. When we get all the parks done, this view is going to be absolutely incredible. It's already looking pretty cool with the City Walk area. And the other hotel over there. I still need to detail that wall on the side there. It's very bare. Bare bones. Over here you can see the highway. Way over there. All the complicated roads that I built. Got a rooftop bar. But yeah. Amazing views. I'm really excited to see where this goes though. I'm pretty hyped. Okay. Got that blueprint now though. The PK. The powder keg. P. K. Powder keg. I see you made the powder keg layout. I'm just gonna raise it up for now. I know it's gonna be kind of weird, but here, we'll take this. Make it a little more accurate. Get your track colors there for the spike. All right, let's take a look at the track here. It looks like you kind of did the same thing I did. Hidden track underneath. I'm assuming you're using the mod with the invisible track pieces, which is usually like the launches and such, or sometimes LSMs and such. And you'll go up here. You got this is one of the most elite airtime hills there is. I will say on this turn right here, if you want me to critique, this turn is definitely a beyond 90-degree turn. It actually it's a pretty heavy bank. You have the hill going up into the turn, very nice, and then you have the big swooping turn. This is the Buzzsaw Falls section. Going up into our lift hill. Which comes around there. Going into the last turn. Looks pretty good though. Layout wise, it's actually fairly accurate actually. I'd say the lift hill, I don't want to say it's incorrect or anything. Just seems short. As in, like, this section doesn't seem long enough. Could just be me, but I'm not sure. I'm looking at the trains, which we've seen photos of. Curious of how this looks in motion, since it's probably attached to that back car. But let's go ahead and give it a ride. Probably can't do front bumper, I'd imagine. But this is basically how I did it in Planet Coaster 1, was I just did a hidden track underneath, which would be underground, and then just reattach it in the spot it should be at. That's basically what I did. Hey, that area is restricted. You're too close to that nitro. You smell smoke. "13 feet's very specific." Yeah, with this turn here, it's actually in real life a little bit beyond 90. I think it's like 100, just over 100-degree turn. So you could probably bank that more if you wanted to. Then your Buzzsaw Falls section, big swooping turn. I feel like the pacing's a little slow. I don't know if you've turned down the friction. But if you haven't, I'd turn the friction down a little more. I could reuse the custom lift audio again. I had in Planet Coaster 1. I'll probably just literally take the files from Planet Coaster 1 and just copy them right over to Planet Coaster 2. Track was a little wonky here at the end. You might smooth that out here, right there. Right here, I would just kind of glide that in there. There you go. So what launches this linear synchronous motor? See, I would have used a hold section right here. And really up the acceleration since it's an air compressed launch coaster. Bump. Trying to make a ride in mildly spaced area have any recommendations? Is it a coaster or is it a flat ride? Yeah, I'd bump this down to try 0.6. And see how this goes. Let's go ahead and speed it up here. There we go. That's a little bit of a better pace there. I'd say that's good. How's it do on this last turn, though? Yeah, and then the last modification I personally would do is take this and just go alright. Probably about right there. Hit that smooth button a tiny bit. And that's about what I would do. Again, the lift hill kind of seems short, like the track length here. I would almost maybe put this section lower down, maybe down there, so it has more speed coming into it, because it does have quite a bit of speed when it hits those brakes. And then just have more of this regular lift section. You can even make it maybe a little gentler too, so you can have more of a track spot there. That's what I would do if it were me. And then obviously recolor your spike to the dark color, which is what I did for you. But that would be my recommendation if you were to make that, if you're working on that really hard. So where's the car at? Is the car on the road? There's our car. That's not what I want. That is not what we want. There we go. Something more like this. We actually have a functioning car that drives around. It's turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Can't wait to get more cars on the road, though. Definitely something we'll have to get going. I might add some triggers so the wheels stop turning when gets to those spots where it stops. Would be pretty cool. Like right here, wheels to keep turning. We could add a trigger to where they stop and then they start again once he starts driving again. Watch the bus, watch the bus. The bus is like drifting. I need to finish. I need to work on that that track right there. But I think this is so cool to see stuff driving around in the parking lot. So it's actually got some sort of function to it. But the car here is actually going to go up here. And actually go and park for a minute. I think I have it sitting there for a full 60 seconds. Then it'll start moving again. There it goes. And it just drives back around. Just a cool effect, though. Boom, boom. But alright guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by and having a fun little stream, a little spontaneous stream tonight. We got some cool stuff done with the Fire in the Hole. Got it started, didn't do much, but we did start on it. So that's pretty cool. My gosh. It's crazy how much people update these things. Like, Fire in the Hole's already back here. Like, way back here on page 2. Man. But yeah, you guys have a good evening. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We'll hopefully be back soon and work on that a little bit more, so. Maybe tomorrow, because I'm not, as of right now, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow as well. I'll be training on Monday. I'll be getting my training in for Powder Keg and Outlaw on Monday. And then I think I'll be off Tuesday. And then back on Wednesday, Thursday, around there. And we're getting ready to open at that point, so park will be open back up and we'll be ready to go. So excited for that, and thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys have a great day and cool tomorrow, guys, and we shall see you next time. But thank you so much, and goodbye.